Speak to one of the people involved with this. It's a leader from COPE, the COPE leader, Mosiuoa Lekota from the Congress of the People. Mr. Lekota, good morning to you. A happy new year, all the best for 2013.
Thank you, sir.
Do you think Max Sisulu was referring directly to you?
No, I think he was referring to, certainly I was included, but I think he was referring generally to everybody who are members of Parliament. And I must agree with him that it is important that all of us who are members of Parliament must respect the institution and must try to live with the rules as set out. On the other hand, I think that the Speaker must take account of the fact that we are a new democracy, it's a constitutional democracy. There are rules, there are rights given at Constitution, such as the privilege given in 58. If any member of the House was unhappy about how the Speaker or Deputy Speaker or the Chair of Council of Provinces applied that, we are quite entitled to challenge such rulings. If we didn't find relief inside the institution itself, as we have in this case, then the judiciary is the only authority given at Constitution that must intervene in those situations.
And what did the court say about the application that was taken to them about when you were asked to leave Parliament?
The ruling of the Western Cape High Court was that the ruling was correct. We are taking that on appeal. Council has advised us that it is not possible for any regulation to overrule a privilege or a right given by the Constitution. In fact, the Constitution itself says that anything inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void. So we are taking this matter to the Constitutional Court or to the Supreme Court of Appeal because it's out of step.
Why do you think Max Sisulu handled the situation with you being asked to leave Parliament? First of all, you refused to do that. Later you did. We saw in that footage that we had aired a little while ago. Why do you suppose Max Sisulu took that decision to have you kicked out? Obviously very unhappy with the way you behaved.
No. The issue had nothing to do with my behavior. The issue I was sent out of Parliament had to do with what I had said. The question was whether what I had said in the House was appropriate or not.
And do you think it was?
Definitely it was. In fact, Section 58 says, no member of Parliament may be punished for anything they say in the House or in the committees of the House.
Did you follow proper protocol to raise the question?
Indeed, yes. As a matter of fact, one of the serious failings on the part of the Deputy Speaker, it was not the Speaker himself, it was the Deputy Speaker, who failed to appreciate that Rule 66 of Parliament, specifically of the National Assembly, specifically says you may not, you are not required to submit a substantive motion when you are criticizing any member of the House, starting with the President. He's not protected by this regulation. Only people who are not members of the National Assembly, such as judges, heads of the Chapter 9 institutions, they are protected. You have to put a substantive motion because they are not in the House. They are not able to answer for themselves and defend themselves.
You clearly feel that you were unfairly treated as well. Just as a final question to you, Mr. Lekota, what are you going to do now? You'd say you're taking it on appeal with the courts.
It's going to the courts, indeed.
What happens if the court doesn't rule in your favor? What's your next step, briefly as you can?
Well, I can tell you what the consequences will be, because I can't see that they can take a different route. As a matter of fact, this matter of punishing members for saying things that did not please the majority party was also dealt with a bit earlier on in the Delil matter, where I think the late Chief Justice Mohammed found that there is no rule, there is no regulation, there's no official, not even the president of the country, can reduce the right, the privilege given in Section 58. It would mean the Constitution is null and void. It would mean the only time you can criticize the executive is if you submit a substantive motion.
Which some would suggest is asking permission to criticize, which is not
that's
the way
right.
it should work.
And which means therefore that we no longer have the right to criticize the executive.
Mr. Lekota, thank you very much indeed. All the best for 2013
Thank
as
you
well.
very much.
Mosiuoa Lekota, leader of the Congress of the People.